Hi, everybody. Welcome to AS Testimony Talk Show. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge God, and he will direct your path. I'm your host, Akeem Smith. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to AS Testimony Talk Show. And I must say, I am happy that we are here another Sunday where we can come and testify about the goodness of God. And on my right, I have a wonderful young man here. His name is Keron Clarke, and he is here tonight to share what God has done for him. Many persons sometimes see you, but they might see that you're living a good life now, but they don't know all the struggles that you have been through. And so he is here to prove that nothing is impossible with God. Welcome on the AS Testimony Talk Show, Kieran. Thank you so much for taking the time out to be on my show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's get right into it because my audience tonight, they are excited to know who is Keron Clarke. So tell us, who is Keron Clarke?
Keron Clarke is a humble man of God.
Mm-hmm.
I love God, love music, father of one, um, still unmarried,
Yes.
working on that. I think that is basically it. Keron Clarke is basically who you see, who you get.
Wonderful, absolutely, and I believe that. So as a Christian, as a teenager, we do have a past. You know how we were brought up by our parents. So tell us about your upbringing. What was it like growing up as a child?
Well, it's as a teenager. I'm actually not a teenager
Yeah,
anymore.
well, I'm talking for a person who will be watching and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Yes.
Just in case
In
they're
general.
wondering. Yeah, well, growing up for me, I grew up. I'm a little rough. Grew up very poor.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up with my stepdad and my mom. Didn't meet my father till I was 25.
Wow,
Yeah,
25.
way up there. Um, I was always a Christian. Got saved very very young, and yeah, growing up for me was fun. I'm a country boy,
Mm-hmm.
so grew up in the rural hills of Point St. Catherine. Sure,
Point
everyone in
Hill,
Point Hill.
yes.
Yeah, and I believe from I was a child, I was a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I said I got saved young, so that was just it. Grew up as a Christian.
Okay, so you mentioned that it was when you were 25, you met your dad. What was it like growing up, not having a father figure in your life? Tell us about that experience.
Well, I actually had a father figure,
Oh, I
but
see.
I didn't have my father.
Yeah, okay.
However, looking back now,
Mm-hmm.
I will say I had a father figure, but at the time, I saw myself as a fatherless child. So it was very hard. Um, it pushed me to a heavy depression.
Mm-hmm.
I was constantly trying to figure out why did my father did not like me.
Oh
What
my
did I
God.
do?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had dreams of the day that we would meet. I don't know, probably I didn't. At one point, I didn't even think I would meet him while he was alive.
Yes.
So I had dreamed that I would meet him when he was dead, and he left me in his will.
Wow, wow,
But
wow.
it was difficult, you know, for anyone missing one parent.
Yes.
I believe it is difficult, especially when you know that that parent have other children
Mm-hmm.
and they are involved in their lives. So fathers, mothers also, you're needed in the lives of the children.
Absolutely, I believe that. I totally agree with you. So you also said that you got saved at a very tender age. What motivated you, or what inspired you to give your life to say, "Hey, I'm going to try God."
Well, I got saved at the age of 7,
Mm-hmm. Wow.
and yeah, very young. I was a baby. All I knew was don't tell lie, don't curse, brother.
Yes.
But I really don't know. Um, I remember always going to church, always following up street meetings with my mother, and I think my great grandmother at one point. I can remember going to church with her as well, and I always loved church and loved music and all of that sort of stuff. So I just thought that it was just what was needed to be done. I just needed to give my life to the Lord. And I remember saying it, and my bishop at the time, Bishop G. Stevens, he took me and he sat me down and he spoke with me. I think he spoke with me the best way he could.
Absolutely.
Seeing at my age. And he was not, he did not hesitate. I remember vividly him saying that a little child shall lead them.
Yes.
And he did baptize me. I remember the pool, I remember the night it rained so heavily. I remember every single aspect of my baptism. I was the first person to go down into that pool. And well, 1997 from 2022. How many years that now? In the 20s. In the
Yes.
20s, I'm still going with Jesus Christ, and I'm happily saved.
To God be the glory, great things He has done. But let me ask a question, because as young Christians, as a child, gotten saved at that age, you have a peers, your schoolmate, and your neighbors, the peers that you might play with in the neighborhood. Was it a hard task, because they come to the senses that you are now walking with Christ? Were they like, mocking you, or say, hey, you gave a life to God, says like you won't be able to be a part of the crew, you enter what I'm trying to say, what I'm saying? Yeah. Who was that like?
It was different based on the crowd and based on
Yes.
the age. As I do nothing in Jamaica, you're Christy
Yes.
Foot. You're no longer Christian,
Yes.
you're Christy Foot. So there are times I was called Christy Foot. And it was a struggle. It will be a struggle for anyone who is young, who give their heart to the Lord. You have to learn how to navigate through school and navigate your peers, and everyone have a different idea of what a Christian should be,
Yes.
how a Christian should act, how a Christian should talk, the type of music you should listen to. So you have to come to your senses and know who you are as it relates to me. I learned along the way. I made mistakes. I wasn't always saved.
It's true.
Yeah. I well, in terms of what we consider to
Yes,
be
that's
saved, I
right.
wasn't
Yes.
always saved. I wasn't always right, but I tried my best, and I'm still living today. So I think I did a fairly good job at making it. Because
Yes.
I saw many give up along the way. It will be a struggle. It will be a fight. But if you keep at it, just remember that your salvation is between you and God, not between you, God, and everybody else in the world. Once God approves, then run with it.
Run right with it. So, guys, we will be taking a quick break. Please remember that if you are just joining tonight's show, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and also share this broadcast whenever, so a friend of yours, a family member, can come over to the AS Testimony Talk Show and subscribe. Don't you move a muscle, we soon come. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to AS Testimony Talk Show. And again, I'm your host, Akeem Smith. And on tonight's show, I have on my right here gospel artist. He's also a preacher. He's also a father. He wears so many hats. And so I'm happy that he's on my show to share about the goodness of God. So just before we went on break, he was telling us about his, he upbringing and stuff like that. So you are now an artist, right?
Yes, yes.
So after you got saved at that age, did you imagine yourself becoming a gospel artist?
Ah,
Or what lead you to be now a gospel artist?
eventually I did, but I did not think it would be a reality.
Mm-hmm.
I remember growing up, my Bishop Stevens, again, I never love that man. He would prophesy. He would always prophesy about me and music,
Mm-hmm.
and to be honest, you hear people talk things, but a country boy, you're little and you're black and you're mark and
My
everything.
God.
There are certain things you heard about and you did
Yes.
not actually expect it.
Yes.
Like going to a studio, I did not expect to be going to a studio. And then I got comfortable doing church, you know. I'm a church man, so being an artist means that you have to be a concert man. I'm a church man. You sing a little church song and you shake up your little voice, and you go one little church and sing and them shake and them jump and say, yeah.
Yes.
But as it relates to being considered an artist, I didn't know how to do it. I didn't have any idea that I would be one. I didn't have any desire to be one. Then in 2018, because I was singing background vocals for quite a number of people. Shout out to brother Andre.
Yeah, Andre.
He's the main person I sang with. I've done vocals for live performances for a few other Jamaican artists, John Flemings, um, Sister Pat,
Yes, yes.
and the list goes on. But Andre was really who I sang with. But then in 2018, I remember planning a concert for a pastor. And I was at work, and the Holy Spirit said, no, man, this should be your show. And I wanted to record a song, my first song, Shekinah Glory, and put it out there. I had $50 in my pocket when I started to plan that event.
Let me, what is it, 50 Jamaican dollars?
Yeah, 50 Jamaican dollars, $50 can't even buy chips.
Exactly.
I had $50 in my pocket. And I just started calling in favors.
Yes.
And just like that, people started to jump on board. I remember Gotti was at that event. Shout out to Pastor Gotti Reynolds. I love that man as well. And I went to his church and I sang, and he heard about the show. And he said, the show can't keep, and he's not there. And he ended up being one of the headliners. And to God be the glory, that show today blew my mind.
Yes.
And I started doing music then, and the world has been pretty great.
Absolutely.
I'm enjoying the process.
That's right. And you also said that, the first song that you released was Shekinah Glory. Yes. Shekinah Glory fill this place. I love that song so much, brother. You're welcome. I'm really happy for you, brother. You're doing such a tremendous job in the kingdom of God. And I believe that your reward are in heaven. You get what I'm saying? But, just keep on pushing, keep on doing what you have to do, because, sometimes you might not get the support from who you're expecting to get the support from, but keep on moving. But you are not only a singer, right? You're not only a singer, because based on my research about you, I observe or realize that you are also, you preach. You preach the word of God. So tell us about that. Preaching plus singing, and there's so many works for God. Tell us about that.
I'm going to say something that a lot of people will be shocked to hear. I prefer to preach than to sing.
Really?
But I think I do I preach less than singing, but I prefer to preach. I started to preach when I was 14. I remember Reverend Gifton Wallace.
Yes.
He was preaching at a crusade in Point Hill, and he blessed me and he said, all I have I give to you. And shortly after I started to, share the word of the Lord. And I like doing it more. I like doing it more. I find it to be easier.
Easier. Okay, cool. Much easier. Okay, to God be the glory, my brother. All right, so preaching, singing, being a single father, how do you manage, so many hats? How do you manage, to balance everything, being an artist, preaching, being a single dad? How do you manage so many roles?
The octopus comes in.
The octopus comes
the octopus. It's hard. I'm going to be honest, everyone. It is difficult. Sometimes I go to a rehearsal and I have my son with me. He's here with me right now. He's always on my side. Some people dub him as my handbag. So, trying to balance everything, ensuring that your son is not left out. He doesn't feel left out because you're always at a rehearsal, you're always at church, you're always at an event singing, you're always giving, and then he now have to learn how to share with everybody.
Yes.
Some children are very like him, very selfish and sharing him father. But I give God thanks. I think I am handling it fairly well.
I believe so. But guys, listen to me. Don't you move a muscle. things is getting heated. That's right. Yeah. So he's here to share with you, to testify about the goodness of God. Guys, if you are just joining, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and share, because what we need your support, and we are at 820 subscribers. So come on, once you hit that subscribe button, we're able to reach 1,000 subscribers. We will be taking a quick break. Don't you move a muscle. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to AS Testimony Talk Show. And again, I'm your host, Akeem Smith. And tonight I have on my show, Keron Clarke, the boss. He's here, to testify, about the goodness of God. And the Bible say, once we testify about the goodness of God, then we will be able to overcome many trials and tribulation. And so he's here to share what God has done for him. But Keron Clarke, I believe my audience would like to know. And I want to know as well, um, what happened to your son, or why are you a single father? But let me say, how did you become a single father? In this meaning, how did it all began? How did you met your son, mother, and everything? Tell us about that story, if
Okay. So we
yes.
met at church. She
Yes.
is a dancer at my church. She's one of the better dancers at church, to be honest. She's also a dance instructor. Yeah, we met and we tried to
Yes.
date. And young people, it is always good to have accountability, and we have a son.
Absolutely. I
And yeah, so we have a son, and we tried to be together. It did not work out. And of such, I never wanted my son.
absolutely.
And based on her work, she is unable at the time to be there 100% of the times I took over the reins. And just like what, and that if a single mother was in place, she would have to
Yes.
run with the child and be that parent.
Mhm.
It's just that I am just the other parent who is running with the child and being that parent and doing everything.
And I'm proud of your brother. Trust me, I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
Sometimes I'm on Facebook and I see where,
Thank you.
he made so many posts of his son. Sometimes they're going to like shows and they're in the same clothes, like they're twins. But to God, everything the Bible so must give God thanks.
Yes, I'm grateful.
I know that you are a proud father, and even though sometimes the challenges, you're not able to maybe to fund, but God always make way, and so I'm grateful and I'm happy that God is there with you, to guide and protect you as a father. But it is our testimony that basically, it is a testimony talk show rather, and by our testimony we are overcome.
Yeah.
So I want you to share with us, you know, one testimony that you have find yourself in, and how God has taken you out of that situation. Yes.
All right, so I mentioned earlier that I was very heavily depressed when I
Yes.
was younger.
Mhm.
Um, that depression started when I was about 14, 15, there about teen. I realized that, as I said, I didn't have a father. I felt left out and all of that.
Yes.
Me did black and me did ugly.
Mhm.
I had self-esteem issues,
Yes.
I had serious issues. I hated the way I talk, hated the way I walk,
Wow.
hated my color, hated how I looked, hated I wanted a different mother, I wanted a different family, I wanted a different location, I wanted everything about my life to be totally different.
Yes.
All of that continued. I was always in church, and then everyone in church had an expectation of you. So you were trying to be everything that everyone wanted you to be.
Yes.
They wanted you to sing loud, you sing loud.
It's like you're trying to please everybody.
Everybody.
My God.
Everybody. So you at one point you're like, who am I? I was confused about who I was. That depression carried on throughout my early 20s. It got so rough that there was a time that I tried to take my life. Well, there were
Wow.
not a time, there were about six or more times.
Wow.
I have a scar on my hand currently.
Oh
This,
my
I got
God.
what, 5 stitches in it because I got so frustrated. I punched out a window and went to the doctor. The doctor, when he was stitching my hand, was like, this should be painful. I'm saying, man, I feel the pain. To date, I have not felt any pain. I was so angry at numb. I was angry at life, angry at God. Can you imagine being a Christian, singing, preaching, teaching,
Yes.
watching people being delivered, yet still you're broke, you're hungry, you're struggling to make ends meet,
Yes.
you feel hated because everybody has something negative to say about you.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to please everybody, but you can't please nobody. So it was very, 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 very rough.
Yes.
And yes, still you're dying, and you think that no one is seeing. There's no help. And it just came to a head. I drink bleach, me take pill, and all sort of that. It just never worked. I remember one other time I woke up, I went to my bed, and when I woke in the morning, I was angry that I was still alive.
Oh my God.
And I was vexed with God for keeping me alive. And it was just going on and on and on and on. And the thing that people would never believe would be that anchor
Mm-hmm.
that brought me out of that depression is the very sin that many people looked on
Yes.
and talked about. I remember when my son's mother was pregnant, I was worried to the point I did not share with anyone that he was my son
Oh wow.
until he was born.
Mm-hmm.
People knew that he was my son after his birth
Yeah, his birth.
because I was worried that, the repercussion. You're a Christian, you're a minister.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just a minister now. You're singing, you're leading, you're directing, and all of this. And you are having a child out of wedlock. And that was when I found what true love was, I remember looking at the first picture of my son. He was wearing a blue tam thing on his head, a blue and white shirt. The pampas me that I'm very lick, I'm still lick today. And he had on a blue pair of socks. And he was lying down the way he sleeps today, all spread out.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, I am this.
He's
Yeah,
here.
yeah. And my life from April 27, 2017 took a turn until now. That was the day I came to head with my depression, my frustration, and everything. And I felt loved. When he looks on me, I feel loved. When he says, Daddy, I love you, I understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Guys, I mean, oh my God, this is just, you see, it is just so important to testify, to tell your story because I wasn't expecting to hear all of this right now from you. So many persons might look at you, Keron Clarke, and they don't know. But guys, don't you move a muscle. We're taking a quick break. All right? Hi guys, welcome back to AS Testimony Talk Show. And again, I'm your host, Akeem Smith. And again, welcome to all my new subscribers and to all my original subscribers. Thank you so much again for joining. My team and I really appreciate you. So tonight, my guest is here to share his story and to tell us that nothing is impossible once you choose that of Jesus. So you said that from you saw your son. It's like your whole depression thing just gone, just changed. It's
Yeah.
like you just get to see who you really are.
Yeah.
But it was also said that your newborn car was stolen.
Oh, yes. So after all of that, I went through the depression, everything, came out. Things started to look up and everything, you have a child, or you have to do things to ensure
Yes.
that he's comfortable because I want him to have the best. So,
Yes.
I went and I purchased a car and I was very excited about this
Yeah.
car. Yeah,
Man,
man.
true.
It wasn't my first car, but it was my first notable car. The first car that I purchased was crap. Can I say that? Can I say that on
My
TV?
producer, she's laughing on hell.
I hope I did not just curse on television.
No
But
crap.
my first car it wasn't worth talking about.
Yes, I understand.
I was young and I wanted a car, so I just gonna buy something, and
Yes.
it never served me very long either. But then this was a very nice car. It was a 2015 Toyota Vitz, and I liked it a lot.
Mhm.
You know, I purchased the car, and would you imagine that 13 days later, after buying a car, securing the car, ensuring that it have an alarm and everything on it, kill switch and all of that, 13 days later, not even 2 weeks, I
13.
woke up to go to a wedding, and I looked at the spot that I parked that car, and the car was not there.
Wow.
I this was like 5 o'clock in the morning. I run in the house and I checked if I had a car key for real. Because maybe I was dreaming at the time and I didn't actually have a car. And then
Yes.
I called Trevor. I said, Sharon, I wake up and I don't see my car, but me I sleep. So when I wake up, me call you back. Him say, what you said to me? And I started to tell him, I walked out the entire community.
Oh my
I
God.
could not believe that the car was gone and it looked like the spot was clean as a whistle and I see a broken glass or anything. I don't remember it. I went through different phases. So there was a time when you're a Christian, so you have a prayer, and you're going to believe that the car is going to
Gonna
turn
return,
up, yeah.
yes.
And then you're like, oh, it never come back, so probably I did do something wrong. And there were times I would be happy like 1 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
and by 1:05, I would not be happy, and then I would be happy at 1:06, and then by 1:07, I went through phases.
Yes.
But then I remembered that there's one thing I said, God, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're teaching me, but whatever you're teaching me, please make me learn it quick. Because this is not nice at all.
Oh my God.
But to be honest, after it was stolen about the Thursday,
Mhm.
and I went to church the Sunday, and I tell you, there's a need for the church.
Yeah, yeah.
There is a need for the church, and it was pandemic Sunday, so you could only have like 15 or so people at the time. And they didn't preach anything about a car or stolen all of that. But when I got into the presence of the Lord and I could just say hi to somebody and know that they were praying for me and all of that, I felt lifted. And throughout it all, I was confident that the Lord would work it out. And people were like so shocked when I expressed to them that the vehicle was stolen in March. I got an offer by the ending of May. And then after that, it was just some little dragging out by different parties
Mm-hmm.
why a payout was not made until September. I kid you not, I had a car driving
Yes.
before the end of August, even before the insurance company made a payout.
Wow.
That was mine. So I said, who could it be but
But
Jesus? It
Jesus.
pays to trust God.
Absolutely. I believe that. But come on, we are humans, right? And sometimes we doubt God and sometimes our faith, decrease, When you realize that the car did not come back, did your faith like drift from God?
My faith did not drift from God,
Mm-hmm.
but I had questions.
Yes, you question him.
I had questions why, and it is only natural, and it is okay to question
Yeah.
God. I don't know where we get this idea that if you question God, who God is just in. Question God.
Yes.
Ask him why. He may or may not answer.
Yes.
And the reality is God always knows best. And this is the stance I take. If it's good, he knows best.
Yes.
If it's bad, he knows best. And I rationalize to say that probably I would have been in an accident.
Ah,
Something could have happened. Probably something would have happened to my son. Probably I would be driving the car and stop at a stoplight, then come to thief it and me not give them
yeah,
because
something
everybody.
happened.
I'm not a pushover, I'm a Christian, I'm not a walkover. So it would take a lot of convincing for me to get out of that car and give it to them. And God knows all of these things
Yes,
that
yes.
could or could not happen. Probably the Lord was allowing my faith to be tested.
Yes.
Remember that when Job was sitting
Ah.
there all righteous and nice and dandy, the enemy went up and said, I consider Job. And the Lord said, touch everything, but
Yes.
do not touch his life. So God had confidence, and this is how I rationalized it. And I took um, So let's know that God had confidence in me to know that
Yes.
He could allow the enemy to touch this thing that I liked so much,
So much.
and it would not deter me. I would run to Him instead of running from Him. So sometimes it's just about us looking on it from a different perspective, not from the perspective that the enemy puts in their head that
That's right.
God no love you, run from Him.
You're right. Well, my brother, looking back over your life and all the struggles, all the challenges that you face, do you have any regrets?
No.
No.
I said no because I believe that everything that happened created the man that I am today.
Mm-hmm.
If I could go back and change a few things, naturally I would, if they would not affect my life today
Yes.
in a negative way. Once I have my son, once I would have the friends I have, once I would have the experiences I have had, once I would
Yes.
have the knowledge that I have today. And yeah, and I don't think that I think that once I go back and adjust anything, it changes everything.
I believe that.
So I think that, yeah, I'm like Paul. I've learned that whatsoever state I am, there with to be content.
Absolutely. Hey guys, so again, we will be taking a quick break at this time. And if you're just joining with us tonight on the AS Testimony Talk Show, my guest is here, telling his story, right? And if you are just joining and if you are a first time watcher, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and also share this video so a friend or a family member of yours can also join this talk show. We will be taking a quick break at this moment. We'll soon come. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to AS Testimony Talk Show. And I'm your host, Akeem Simid. And it is always a pleasure being here, being your host every single week to do the work of God and to allow persons to come on this program to testify about the goodness of God. And so my guest is here. He have said a lot, earlier. And so we are almost at the end of this session. But my brother, the boss, he's an artist, so it's such a pleasure having him on my show, such a pleasure having him on my show. But we are now in 2022,
Mhm.
and 2021 has been a rough year for so many of us. For myself, I've been through so many things in 2021, but I'm grateful that I'm here because so many persons, did not make it to cross over
Yeah,
in
that's
this new
right.
year, and so we are here. But what are you expecting in
I
this
know.
new year?
I'm expecting great things. You can look out for great things from
Ah,
me. I am trusting God more and more and more. I'm expecting to see miracles, signs,
yes.
and wonders.
Ah,
I have
amen.
new music coming out, and I expect that people will be blessed by
Hmm.
it. I have new things coming out, and I know it will be a blessing. So I'm expecting greatness. I can't say much, 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 but I can say that.
Yeah, yeah, that's right, that's right. But brother, before me make a go or come up on my show, I want you to give us a piece of that wonderful song, Shekinah glory fill this place. I love you so much. Come on, sing to my audience.
Okay. Okay, now I'm being very nervous and shy. Why are you doing this to me?
Do you want me to sing it for you?
Yeah, sure. Please do it. Please.
Shekinah glory fill this place. I crack right there. Holy Spirit, we embrace.
We wanna feel you, God. We're standing in your presence. Oh Lord, Let your glory fill this place.
So, wow, I mean, I love this song so much, but it's like so many times I'm home and I'm playing this song over and over again because it is
Wow.
ministering to me, Shekinah glory, come and fill this place. But tell my audience, where can they go and find the song?
All the songs are on all the digital platforms. If you can think about it, it is right there. Just type in Keron Clarke, Shekinah Glory, and you will find it.
Absolutely. So we're this is your last question now, and we're almost at the end of this week program. But I know that so many persons are watching now. Your family, your friends, and young teenagers. You are a minister. You sing, you preach, you do so many things. What can you say to encourage someone that is watching tonight broadcast?
Very simple. Trust the process. Processes are not easy. And when God puts us through a process, it's not what we want. It's not what you want. It's not what you think is best for you. Because sometimes we have a tendency not to tell God how to do his job.
Yes.
Because we think we're more knowledgeable than God. But he knows what he's doing. And always find a way, find the best in any situation. Whatever the situation is, no matter how it looks terrible, there is always something good that you can find. Zoom in on that and zoom in on God's purpose for your life, and you will be okay. You will smile at the end of it all. Trust me, you are going to smile. I promise you that.
Absolutely. I believe you will be smiling at the end of the storm. And again, the word of God says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding, people, but in all thy ways acknowledge God and he will direct your path. So, guys, we are at the end of this week's show, and I'm just so happy that my brother, was able to come and share with us on this wonderful program. And again, if you are a first time viewer or watcher, please remember to subscribe, like, and comment, so whenever time we go live you can be notified, receive the notification on your phone. And again, once you are a regular watcher, thank you so much for taking the time on every single week to join myself and my guests every week to hear of the goodness of God. So Karen, thank you so much, bro, for taking the time to be on my show. My team and I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I pray that for this year God will just allow his blessings to pour out in your life, and doors will open, different opportunities will come your way. And we just have to declare that it is our winning season. Many persons been through so many things last year, but this year we are declaring that it is our winning season, and everything attached to us win. So our friends, our family, they will also win. So guys, again, thank you so much for taking the time out to join me on the AS Testimony Talk Show. I want to take the time out to say thank you to my team, Pastor Maisel Anderson and also Trimel Anderson, and also to my sponsor, Bishop Cyril Francis, for taking the time out to grant me this huge privilege to host my talk show at the Potter's Tabernacle of Joy Ministry. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching tonight broadcast. We really appreciate you. Join us next week, same time, same place for another Power Pack. Again, thank you for watching. I'm your host, Akeem Smith.